So
moving in.
she's moving in. We ate KFC over there, you see, and then she's charging her phone. She thinks we're on the bus already, so. Works like this. You sit on the couch like this, and you can stand up. So under here we'll have our batteries, electrical, inverter, and miscellaneous storage. And then a couch.
Nice. Good job.
Okay, so we're finished with that couch. Now we're skinning out this couch. And I know you need to see it all over again, so with the magic of the internet. And there she is. So good morning and welcome to the bus. We are working on the electrical system today, the DC side specifically, and trying to get the distribution box installed. I'll show you what we got. So this is where we're going to be putting our electronics. We'll have our batteries, our inverter, distribution box, all the cables, all of that go here. So this is the distribution box we got, and we ordered it online and it came damaged out of the box. It was broken here and broken here, but it's usable. We're still going to use it, so we're going to mount that right like that inside, you know, so it'll be flush, and it's got a hatch. All our connections will go to that. So on this we have for our breakers for our AC side and our ground, and over here we have our DC side where all our fuses go and all the connections go. And then on the back, got easy access ports to run wires and knockouts for wires. And this is for your inverter to plug in, or what was it, the transistor or transformer or whatever it was. So what we have so far is I got 3 lines run, one to the refrigerator, one set that goes through the bus to the other side where the water heater underneath is down there, and then I have one set that goes the water pump. So the water pump from the freshwater tank is right back below under somewhere here. And all we got to do now is hook it up to the distribution box, hook up a battery, and we can test those lines. Okay, so I have the hole cut. I used my handy dandy jigsaw. I made one little mistake. I went to drill a hole here to start for my jigsaw blade to get in so I can make this cut. I originally put the line here, which is center of everything, but I didn't think about my 2x4 behind it is 3.5 inches, and I only allowed myself 3 inches. So when I drilled the hole, I realized it went through the 2x4, and that would not work for what I was doing. I don't want to cut the 2x4 out. I could have, I guess, but I just didn't want to do that. So I just lowered it 1/2 inch, and hopefully the flange will cover that hole. If not, I'll fill in another hole. But here we go, let's test this thing. Let's see if it works. This ain't easy doing, holding the camera and doing this at the same time. But there it is, custom fit. And now we have a fuse box, or distribution center, I should say. So as I hook these up, I'm not gonna screw these in yet, and I'm probably gonna get some bolts because it's very thin. I wouldn't trust a screw holding that in. But what I'm gonna do, especially with the bouncing on the bus, I'm gonna leave it out for now. I'm gonna do all my wiring out here so that I can have access to all the holes without having to bend through. And then once it's done, once it's all wired in, I'll flip it up and push it in. And then I make sure I have plenty of wire to play with. Got the distribution center in, got the batteries in, got the cables all dressed up and pretty and looking like I know what I'm doing, even though I don't. And got the charger ready to go. Still need another battery for that. Apparently a dual charger needs both batteries to work correctly. So I had to pick up another battery just to make sure that function works out all right. Got a charge controller installed and fuses in, and everything is working. So I think that's a positive. Let's see what I did here. There's our distribution box installed. The cover's ready to go on. We've got our 4 lines with the fuses in. We've got our first battery, a second battery will go in here. These aren't the final batteries. These are just batteries I have here to get this working and make sure everything works right, and then we'll swap out for our other batteries later. Over here we've got our dual bank charger, and I still have to mount this. This is a 2-way switch, so I can use both batteries or one battery or turn them off. Both of those were salvaged off my sailboat when it got destroyed in the hurricane, so at least we get to reuse them. Got me a light installed, works pretty good. That way, when I'm trying to work on this thing in the dark, I can see. And there's my charge controller. This is my hot water heater controller. I still have to run that line and figure out where I'm gonna mount it. And that's a temporary location for that charge controller. It's not going there. And then there's my #1 helper. Testing. Oh, she's testing.
DC
So she's testing the DC power here with her phone. So
Moving in.
she's moving in. We ate KFC over there, you see, and then she's charging her phone. She thinks we're on the bus already. So, well, take number 14. We are finishing the install on our battery system. We brought in one of our solar panels from off the sailboat. We're going to hook those up just to attach to the solar controller so that we can test that system out. Make sure it's operating correctly before we install the solar panels on top of the bus. We tested this morning refrigerator. It's been plugged up all night, and we left ice or water in there to see if it would freeze to ice. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Ah, we got ice! Success! It works. Ice cold.
We don't know.
I'm disconnecting the solar panel because I don't want to leave it out there all night. And I want to test my batteries. Stabilize all that later. Okay, so next we're gonna be hooking up our dual bank battery charger. This also was salvaged off of our boat, and it'll charge 2 batteries at one time. That's why we bought this extra battery before we buy our complete battery system, because this won't operate correctly without 2 batteries. They said you can hook them both to 2 batteries, but it wouldn't shut off automatically and run the maintain mode, and that's what we need. So I didn't want to chance it, and I'll just go ahead. We went ahead and purchased another battery just so we can get this hooked up and make sure it works right. Okay, Okay, so we got the switch hooked up. With this switch I can choose battery 1 or battery 2 or both batteries, or turn them both off. This is nice because I can cut off the switch when we're not using it, the batteries when we're not using it, or I can use both of them if I need more power. I can charge both of them at the same time, all of that good stuff. Okay, so we just hooked up the solar charger and we're going to test this whole system out to make sure it works all right. So if you go to bank 1, we should show a voltage, probably 12.1. 12.1. And then if we go to bank 2, bank 2 should be a better charge on our new battery.
Yep, 12.7.
All right, because we haven't charged the other one yet. And then both of them should be a combined voltage.
It says 12.4.
Yeah, so that's an average between the two. So, and then if we turn this back off, and then if we go over here, plug in this solar, we got this little solar panel doing the test for the system. We got our bigger ones coming. If you hook that up, we got voltage coming through the window. And you can see with the battery off, it says that the batteries are low because I have them turned off, and we're pulling 8 volts out of that little bitty charger at the moment. And then of course if we turn this both on to both, then that voltage would be going into both batteries. So you see it's getting a little higher voltage out of that. Instead of 12.4, it's now 12.5.
And this means that this is the solar panel charging the batteries?
Yeah, this means the solar panel's putting power into the batteries.
And I can charge my phone?
Yes. So this is just a temporary hookup till we get our bigger solar panels hooked up, but this just shows that the system works and we have our wiring correct. Yay. Okay, so that's another day wrap on the bus.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks for coming along with the ride.